Right, for those of you who have got a Lerona Eibar, this is a little tutorial on taking the injectors out, and a problem that has showed its head when you're trying to take them out. So if we just take the forearm off, and what we're looking at here is the two injectors. To remove them, and all we basically need for that is a paper clip. So just take a little bit of load off the spring, and there's a little catch in there that you push, allow that to relax, pull your paper clip out, then this should then pull out, and it can be a bit stiff, but at this point make sure you've got your thumb, because we're just starting to reveal it there. See the little, there it is. You can see that there, and that's the little pin, little pot that actually holds the injector in. So we'll just put a thumb over that so it doesn't go firing off into the never to be found again. And pull the whole injector out. Take tension off of that. See, that's still stuck in there. So there's a good chance it's going to ping out. So now we're left with a spring, the injector's out, go around the other side, same again, take a little bit of load off it, push that in, and then take that out, and that's the other injector out. That's how they should come out, fairly simply. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut to another section of the video which actually shows, because I've had all these out, and I actually come across the same problem as another gentleman that asked me a question, that he couldn't get the injector out because it was stuck, and I've had these out before and it was perfectly fine, but for some reason one decided to stick. So I'll now cut to that section of video to show how I had to get it apart. But that, how I've just done that now, is how the injectors should come out. And inside these is another little pin, which will clean it all. But that is how you remove the injector. And the other thing is, there is also, take that out, if you push the paper clip through now, that should push the other little pin out. Let's see if we can come up to the camera with that. Where are we going? Oh, hang on, I'm losing it. There. There we go. Got two of them, and they're the things you're going to lose when you take this apart. So be very mindful when you slide that injector out. You got your thumb over that, because whether you can get new ones or not, I very much don't know. And also, there's the spring in there. Where are we? Here we go. So we'll take that out. Right, we'll cut to that other bit of video to show you how I got the injector out and why that got stuck. And then we'll come back and then go to the reassembly of it all. Right, I think this is the part that someone said to me that it was having trouble getting the injector out, and I've just done this is the part I'm just doing a dry run through. We'll take them apart and just make sure I know what I'm doing. I found this injector head stuck and it wouldn't come out, and I think it's probably the same problem that someone was asking about. What I think it is anyway. So you do the same where you pull the injector out and it then locked. I have actually cleared it, but it's still quite tight in there. So what I had to do was just get a piece of wood and a hammer, all a bit brutal, but then just tap it through without going too mad, just tapping it out. Well, it's looser now. When I did it before, unfortunately I wasn't filming it when I did it, but the injector then pushed out. And I think what it is, let's just get that out. push that out. There we go, so that's the other little catch. So when we put the injector back in, there's a little tight spot there. I think it's round, let's just zoom in a little bit, shall we? Right, so in this, let me see that. So, there we go, that's better. So, just here, I think there's a burr, because when I'm looking at this hole here, that's actually a little bit elongated, because the gun's quite old now. It's just slowly worked the hole from a circle to a little bit of an elliptical. So, so I think we're just going to have to go in there and just clean that up before it all goes back together. Which I want a very fine file and just maybe a little bit of emery cloth. Obviously we don't want to do too much to it. Just really want to get rid of that burr. Just do a bit, check it. I want to feel better. And what we do, this is super fine stuff. It won't be too fine. Just give it a good clean up. Can you see that? No, it's gone out of shot. Sorry about that. See, that's better. I'll tell you what probably won't go amiss actually is a little bit of cutting compound. Stuff just, you know, where you lap your valves in on your engine. Give that a go with a little bit of, because that's all we're trying to do here is just lap this in. We don't want to take loads off. There's obviously a little burr or something there. And also we give it all a good clean afterwards. A little bit of lapping paste just to make it settle itself in. Oh, actually that feels a lot better. So that's just using lapping paste rather than files and stuff, and that seems to have done the job. So we'll give it a clean up with some cleaner, get rid of that stuff. And this. And then we're going to be re-greasing it all anyway, so before we put it all back together. Right. Just a good clean. So that's just gun cleaner I've used there. So we're not using anything too out of the ordinary. Alright. So there you go, that's now working better. Just using a bit of lapping paste, and that's cleared the actual obstruction, wherever that was. Like I say, I think it's this hole here, you know, where the little catch goes. So you can just see on here, I mean this gun, I don't know how old it is, it must be a good 20 years old. And that's what's stopping the ejector shooting out. So that's actually, you can see where the elongation's there, and it may have created a little burr on there, so that's why it's holding your injector in. when you can't pull it out, so you may have to give it just a little tap with a bit of wood, light tap. Obviously you don't want to go too mental with it, otherwise you're gonna, you know, you could damage it. Right, so if we can see the all the pins and that there. So these pins go inside these springs, also with a bit of reassembly grease. Oh, no, that ain't. Same here, it goes back in. This spring here goes in the centre there, and when it can actually fall out the other side, then you need your pin. There's a step there. I think it won't actually go in the wrong way round, it just won't go down deep enough. So that little hole there is pointing up to you. So the narrow part goes in first. So you can push that down. And then I've greased all these surfaces here, here and down this back end, just a light coating. This now sits in that cradle there, like that, with that, the pin that we've just put in goes in the actual spring and then butts up against there. So if we turn that over, let's do that again because it wasn't even in shot, was it? So we push that in. And then we'll turn that over. And if we just put a bit of pressure on that spring, we should hear that click in. And there you go, hear that click? So that's gone in, that's locked. So we'll reassemble this one. Again, that's all been pre-greased. Put our little thing in there. Let's get over it. So there's our, again, with the divoted bit sticking out. Push that in. Then we push and get hold of it. Oh. It's a little bit fiddly. Just get in here. That's it. So yeah. So that's what you've got to watch out for. You know, it doesn't disappear on you. Now push it in with your finger. Get the injector over the top of it, so it's just covering it now. So as we push that in, should hear it click. There it goes. That's it. And now they're both in. Like I say, this is only an, you know, how I'll do sort of stuff. You know, if you really can't get the injector out, you don't want to be hitting it too hard from, if it is stuck, and you may need to seek advice of a gunsmith. This is just like DIY maintenance. So yeah, I don't want you to damage your gun by hitting it too hard. It does seem to be that they just need a slight tap to get out if they're stuck. But obviously, if you've got to go too mad with it, then yeah, I'll take it to a professional to have it taken out. Other than that, that's how you take injectors out and put them back in again. Thanks very much.